Hi, welcome to Writings and Lessons. I'm Brenda and I teach piano using the Nashville number system. Feel free to watch the previous lessons where I've taught the basics of piano. I've taught about split bars when there's more than one chord in a measure or a bar. Today we're going to learn about the bass line. Number charts and music in general documents when the bass is playing something, a note that's a little bit different than the chord. It works with the chord, but it documents specific notes that the bass is playing. And for piano players, that means that your left hand is playing that bass line while your right hand is playing chords. So let's get started with this lesson. We're going to start learning about the bass line with the chart of Amazing Grace. We have used this song in two previous lessons, and you will notice that this arrangement looks different than the other two. My point is that you can arrange the same song with a variety of chord structures. This one was purposely written to teach about the bass line. So the new thing that we're talking about are these, what looks like fractions. The number on the top represents the chord that you're playing with your right hand. So if an acoustic guitar player or someone else is playing, they're going to play this one chord and they're not going to worry about the three. The three is the note that the bass player is playing. And it's also the note that you play with your left hand at the same time that you play the chord. So we're in 3/4, and each measure has 3 counts, 1, 2, 3. The second measure, you'll play a 1 chord with your right hand, the 3 note with your left hand for 3 counts, and then you keep going. We have the same chord 1/3 in the second line. And then I want to talk about this measure. This is a split bar, which we talked about in lesson 2, where the chords are split. There's more than one chord in the measure. So the tick marks document how many counts each gets. So the 1 chord over the 5 note gets 2 counts. The 5 chord gets 1 count, and then you keep going. So you're playing 6 minor for 3 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc. Again, go back to lesson 2 for a refresher on split bars. The line always means that there's more than one chord in the measure, and the tick marks document how it's split. So there's 3 counts in the measure, so the 1/5 gets 2 counts, the 5 gets 1. We're going to start with Amazing Grace. The first bar is the 1 chord like we've played in the other lesson. So 1 chord with your right hand and the 1 note with your left. Again, just as a reminder, let your left hand live around these notes with all of your fingers available. Do not do this. All fingers available. So I'm going to play the 1 with my pinky, probably grab the 6th chord with my thumb. I'm not that concerned that you have a specific finger for each note, but they just need to be available so that you don't have to move your hand. Your hand's going to stay in the same place. So 1, 2, 3. For the next chord, the next bar, your right hand's going to play the 1 chord, just like here. Nothing changes for your right hand. Your left hand's going to move to the 3 note. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Left hand changes to the 3 note. 1, 2, 3. Go to the 4 chord. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now we're on the 5 chord. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Second line, 1, 2, 3. The left hand's going to go to the 3 note. And then the 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, back to 1, 2. We're going to the 6 chord, 1, 2, 3. Now your right hand's going to play the 1 chord. Your left hand's going to play the 5 note. 1, 2, 3. The third count, your right hand goes from the 1 to the 5. Your left hand's already on the 5, so your left hand does not change. Your left hand's playing the 5 note for that whole bar. So again, let's play just this bar. 1, 2, 3, back to the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is the most complicated chord in this chart. So I just want to talk about it one more time. Again, these tick marks are documenting the count. So there's 3 counts in every measure. So the 1 over the 5 is 2 counts. 1, 2, 3, and then you go to the 1. So this 5 chord just gets 1 count. Literally, you play it once and then you move right to the next one. No hesitation. Here's what it sounds like. This is a very common chord structure, especially in hymns. So you've got the 1 over 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to play Amazing Grace with my daughter singing it, and I'm also using a metronome so that we're keeping steady time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The next song we're going to learn is The Old Rugged Cross. And it's in 3/4 timing, just like Amazing Grace. So every bar or measure is getting 3 counts. I've purposely written this with a lot of measures where the bass is playing a different note than the chord. So we're starting with the 1 chord for 3 counts. Then you go to 1 over 3, just like we did with Amazing Grace. You go to 4 chord, a 4 chord, a 5. So next, your right hand will stay on the 5 chord, and your left hand will play a 7 note. Something that you're going to notice is a lot of times these bass notes are walking to the next chord. So it's leading your ears to hear the next chord. So back here, we played 1 over 3, and then it's going to 4. The 3 before the 4 just leads your ears to that chord. Same thing here. 5 over 7 just makes your ears anticipate the 1 chord. So this will be 3 counts. 1, 2, 3 for all these chords. Again, we've got 1 over 3. Then we've got a 4 chord, a 2 minor. The chorus starts with the 5 chord. And the second measure in the chorus, your right hand stays on the 5 chord, and your left hand is going to go to the 7 note, which leads your ears to hear the 1 chord. And then 1 over 3 with 3 in the bass. The 3 is just leading your ears to that 4 chord. So you just keep going. Again, we've got 1 over 3 here. And in this bar, similar to Amazing Grace, except it's not a split bar, you've got 1 over 5 and then a 5 chord. So this is very, very common And what's happening is playing this 5 early with the 1 chord in your right hand, your ears are anticipating moving to that 5 chord. This is something you'll see a lot in traditional hymns, and it just sounds nice, and it just leads your ears to that next chord. We're going to play through this first while I just talk through it, and then we'll play it a second time with the vocal and the metronome. So just like the other songs, we're starting with the 1, 1, 2, 3. Move to the 3 with your left hand. 1, 2, 3. Now we're on the 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go into the 5. 1, 2, 3. Moving to the 7 with my left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Second line. 1, 2, 3. Move to the 3 note with your left hand. 1, 2, 3. 4, 2, 3. Now to the 2 minor. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to the chorus now, going to the 5 chord. 1, 2, 3. Go to the 7 with your left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1 over 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Last line. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 minor. 1, 2, 3. Now the 1 over 5. 1 chord over the 5 note. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to the 5 chord. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So just as a strategy, when you're thinking about this, these first 2 bars, your right hand's going to stay on the same chord for both of these. Only your left hand moves. Same thing here. In the chorus, your right hand will stay on the 5 chord for both bars, and your left hand moves to the 7. Down here, your left hand will stay on the 5 note, and your right hand will go from the 1 chord to the 5 chord. We're going to play this again with my daughter singing, and I have a metronome, which is a free app on my phone. I have it set in 3/4 timing at a tempo of 68. 1, 2, start. lesson was important because it's something that is done in all styles of music, whether it's country, bluegrass, Christian, rock, even in like Baroque and in classical music. The bass line is typically doing some things a little bit different or moving from one chord to the next. It adds a lot, and it's something important. So regardless of the style of music you're playing, you're gonna see those types of runs and notes that the bass is making. Your left hand can do that in the bass, in the lower notes of the piano. Also, certainly a bass guitar is doing that, and bass guitar players are used to watching the charts on that below the bar in those slash chords. There are also links to both songs that we learned. Amazing Grace, that's arranged with the bass line notes, and also the Old Rugged Cross. If you're interested in joining the Writings and Lessons community, you can send an email to writingsandlessons@gmail.com and I will add you to the community. Also, you can find information about me and about Writings and Lessons at the website, which is writingsandlessons.com. In addition to the summary for this lesson, the 2 charts, all of my social media is linked in the description box below as well. So take some time, practice both of the songs, adding those extra notes with your left hand. Get comfortable doing that. I can't emphasize enough. I say it almost every lesson, but repetition and review is the best way to learn. 3 times, 4 times, whatever it takes. Know your learning style. If you need to watch it, if you need to just read through the summary, repetition is how you'll learn and how you'll master these skills. If you have questions, feel free to comment below or send me an email and I'm happy to help. I hope you have a good day and I will see you in the next lesson.